Hey, drywall repairman here. Thanks for visiting my channel. I am a licensed drywaller. I do a lot of drywall repairs. Patches on ceilings, patches on walls, stress cracks. Simple do-it-yourself type drywall repairs you can do. So please watch and learn these videos and please subscribe. Thanks for viewing.
Everybody, I'm just going to make a simple video on mixing drywall muds. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of other creators reviewing different type of mixing paddles, routines of mixing joint compounds. When you buy these boxes of mud, joint compounds either come in a box form or they come in a bucket. I always buy the boxes because I have plenty of buckets. If you don't have a bucket, then you're going to want to buy the mud in a bucket. But basically, when you get these muds, they're already pre-mixed, but you still have to mix them up, creamy them up for your coat process. First coat even needs to add water. Second coat, you got to add water. And third coat, you're going to have to add water. And texture, you're going to have to add water. Each coat has a little thinner than previous consistency. But basically, all the reviews and videos I've seen on YouTube are these different type of paddles. A lot of different reviews, you know, it kind of gets too much information out there to the public. Let me explain my situation. I am a drywall taper by trade. I've been in the trade for 25 years. I've been a licensed drywall repairman for 12 years now. Going on 12 years, maybe on my 13th year. But I work in the field, so sometimes you gotta grab and go and be on the job in the field working. These paddles right here, I have two of them. One for my work truck, one for my trailer. But this paddle right here is the best paddle you can use for mixing muds. It gets around inside the bucket, up and down. It thoroughly mixes. It's not aggressive, so you keep the water in the bucket. Some of these paddles are way too aggressive. They splish and splash water all over the place. This thing is meant for a 1/2-inch drill. If you don't have a 1/2-inch drill, what I've done over the years, this wore down. You can grind this down, and then now it'll fit a 3/8 drill. So I got this so it'll fit in a 3/8 drill, and I can hand mix it. If you didn't want something so aggressive, if you're just mixing a little bit of mud or just thinning it down, you can also use this 3/8 drill that fits right in. Or you can use a good old-fashioned potato masher. This is always a go-to item, so you don't have to pull out a bunch of tools. A little more effort, energy. It keeps you in shape when you're mixing mud by hand every day. But basically, these are the three go-to mixers. These are the styles. You could go out and buy all these trophy tools, gimmick tools, but this is all you need. This thing's probably $10. It's also good for mixing cement, tile work, stuff like that. So you can find it in the tile aisle, drywall aisle. It's a perfect mixer. These, of course, are about $7 to $15 depending on the brand you're getting. I've had this thing for 10 years, at least 10 years. These are paint mixers, but you can also use them for drywall mud. If I have just like a partial bucket of mud and I want to mix it up the beginning of a job, I'll use this. But basically my main tool is always a hand mixer. But basically this is just a helpful video, another tip video on mixing muds. I'm also have plenty of videos on my channels on how to mix muds, the consistency, mixing it, stuff like that. So I hope these videos are helpful. I know there's a lot of videos out there, people telling you to buy this and buy that, but a lot of these guys are sponsored. They're pushing a product who knows where it's made. And I'm just letting you know, as a licensed drywaller by trade, these are the easiest tools to use. They don't make a mess and they last a long time. Cheap and easy and last forever. But hey, I hope this video is helpful. Please subscribe and like. I have plenty of other videos on drywall repairs, stress cracks, stuff like that. And I hope they're very useful in your do-it-yourself type drywall projects.
So now we're just going to use these tools, basically mixing up a box of joint compound. I got a fresh bucket of water, a bucket of mud here. Always put down a tarp on your work area. If you can, try to mix outside by the hose. It's easier wash up area. Never mix muds on wood floors. I've learned that in the past because you are working with water and you don't want to dent the wood, scratch the wood, or get water on the wood. So just try to mix outside. It's your easiest place next to a hose. But basically this is joint compound I used the day before. Whenever you do a project, you always want to reuse the mud. I cap these buckets off and I use them. This is just a mud mixer, good old fashioned hand beater. potato masher, $10 tool. This is always a go-to. You just thoroughly mix it, get down to the bottom, sides, get it all mixed in good. Little more effort, little more energy. Good workout. This is your go-to item, cheap and easy, lasts forever. Now I'm going to use the 1/2-inch drill. This is a more heavy duty. If you're mixing a lot of mud, several buckets of mud, you definitely want to use a 1/2-inch drill. It's slow and steady, so you want to keep a nice grip on the drill. You don't just hold it with one hand, and you just slowly, consistently mix it. You run the mixer all around the bucket. That's why this round paddle that I showed you, you can get on all the bottoms of the bucket, all the sides, get all the stuff mixed up. Basically going to show you different angle here, just how we're mixing it. You just mix it up thoroughly. You're just trying to make creamy mud. The creamier the mud, the better. You can overmix mud, but you just want to mix it up thoroughly and get all the clumps and everything mixed in. You don't want to get clumps in your mud and stuff like that. Anytime you do a mud project, you're going to have to remix your mud. The consistency of this is a texture mud, so it's a thinner mud. But there's really nothing to it. Now we're just going to use the easy one. If you're just doing like 1/4 of a bucket or a 1/2 a bucket of mud, you could use this drill bit here. When on my 1/2-inch paddle, over the years, this grinded down, so now it fits on a 3/8 drill. So I can use this 3/8 cordless drill or a 3/8 corded drill, and I can use the 1/2-inch paddle. Simple trick. You don't have to buy special tools. There's always a way to make things work. These cordless drills, good cordless drills, have 2 speeds. So you have low RPM, high RPM. You can do this at a low RPM. We're just mixing it up. The mud's pretty mixed up as it is, so we're just creaming it up before we do our project. This is texture mud, so it's kind of thin. I'd say thick pancake batter consistency. You just mix it up. Like I said, if you don't have all these tools, a simple hand mixer is always the easiest go-to item, especially if you're just doing 1 or 2 drywall projects. You don't want to spend a bunch of money and time on all these tools. If you have the tools, definitely use them. When you're done with the paddles, just throw them in your water bucket. Now the little paddle, this is used for mixing paint or materials. It works great for drywall for these 3/8 cordless drills also. Maybe something not as big as a 5-gallon bucket. Maybe if you're just mixing up a little bit of texture, or you're mixing up 1/4 of a bucket, 1/2 a bucket, you just put this tool in, no problem. Small, easy paddle. They're cheap, easy to use. A tool like this is probably less than $10, so you can just buy one of these if you have a cordless drill or a 3/8 drill. Same thing here in the drill. You got high torque or low torque. You can set it whatever speed you want. You just give it a quick mix. It's just a quick whip up. We're just mixing up a quick batter. Nice creamy consistency mud. Now you're ready to do your texturing project. I'd say it's like a heavy pancake batter, medium pancake batter. Perfect for texturing. Knockdowns, hand textures, perfect consistency. Heavier textures, of course, it's going to be heavier. But I hope this video is helpful. Please like and subscribe. We have plenty of drywall videos. These are simple tips. Your tools, you always clean up your tools when you're done. Fresh water, hose, clean up as you go. Keep everything clean. Drywall is messy, so I hope this video is helpful. Simple mud mixing tools.